Hello everyone, I'm Hua at BUCT, Beijing University of Chemical Technology. I have been teaching college English to non-English majors for about 15 years. I'm going to lead you through week 4. This is lesson 1, week 4. There are so many ways to structure your argument within a paragraph. For example, by discussing cause and effect, considering comparisons and contrasts, or conducting a process analysis and so forth. In this lesson, we will focus on the method of process analysis. What is a process? A process is a series of actions which are carried out in order to achieve a particular result or a series of things that happen naturally and result in a biological, chemical, or other form of physical change. We have two objectives today. First one, understand the characteristics of paragraphs using process analysis. The second one, understand the basic organization of a process analysis and be able to write a process analysis based on the organization of some process. When do we write a paragraph structured to describe a process? Yes, when we need to explain how something is done or how something works, namely, when we analyze a process. Can you come up with things from college or the workplace in which you are asked to describe or analyze a process? For example, as part of a chemistry lab report, you are asked to summarize the procedure you followed in conducting an experiment. Or, while working as an engineer at a water treatment plant, you are asked by your supervisor to write a description of how the city's drinking water is tested and treated for contamination. Or, on orientation day, as a senior student, you are asked to write the instructions for freshmen on how to register for classes, so on and so forth. We have lots of examples of process analysis in daily life. Now let's think about, what do you provide people with in the above things? Yes, you provide people with practical information. Whatever the purpose, the information in the process analysis must be accurate, clear, and easy to follow. Next, I'll lead you through the characteristics of process analysis paragraphs. The first characteristic is process analysis usually includes an explicit thesis statement. A process analysis usually contains a clear thesis that identifies the process to be discussed and suggests why the process is important or useful to the reader. Let's read these two examples of thesis statements for process analysis. The first one, if you really want to land the job, here are some things to keep in mind. Then, you may provide readers with detailed information of how to prepare for a job interview. The second example, switching to a low-fat diet, a recent nutritional trend, can provide weight control dramatically. Afterwards, you might describe what is a low-fat diet and how readers can follow that type of diet. The second characteristic of process analysis is that process analysis is organized chronologically. The steps or events in the process analysis are usually organized in chronological order. That is the order in which the steps are normally completed. Please read the following paragraph on how you do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. First, place the victim on his back and remove any foreign matter from his mouth with your fingers. Then, tilt his head backwards so that his chin is pointing up. Next, pull his mouth open and his jaw forward. Pinch his nostrils shut to prevent the air which you blow into his mouth from escaping through his nose. Then, place your mouth tightly over the victims. Blow into his mouth until you see his chest rise. Then turn your head to the side and listen for the outrush of air, which indicates an air exchange. Repeat the process. Now, pick up the signal words that indicate the paragraph is developed in chronological sequence. Yes, the signal words include first, next, then, until, and then again. So can you come up with more words and phrases which signals a time sequence in a paragraph developed through process? Yes, we have firstly, until, lastly, before, after, when, while, once, as soon as a point, at the same time, so on and so forth. The third characteristic of process analysis is process analysis anticipates trouble spots and offers solutions. You need to anticipate potential trouble spots or areas of confusion and offer advice to the readers on how to avoid or resolve them. You should also warn readers of any difficult, complicated, or critical steps, encouraging them to pay special attention to a difficult step or to take extra care in performing a critical one. If you are supposed to write a short essay entitled "How to Prepare for a Job Interview," what would you warn the readers about concerning dress codes? You might say, during the summer months, many job applicants sometimes dress casually. Dressing casually, in most cases, can only hurt your chances of landing a job. Always dress appropriately. Anticipating and offering help with potential problems is also crucial in process analysis. The basic organization of a process analysis can be illustrated by a flow chart. When your main purpose is to explain a process, you should follow this standard format, including a thesis statement, main body, and a conclusion. In some paragraphs, the conclusion might appear in different position. The main body of the essay should explain the steps of the process in chronological order. Your conclusion should draw the paragraph to a satisfying close and refer back to the thesis statement. Let's look at this example. As the day of the exam approaches, there are several things you can do to make life easier. Firstly, you should make sure that you get regular exercise. That way, you won't feel tired at night and you won't stay awake worrying. If you can, find someone else who is doing the exam and can share the process of reviewing for the test with you. You can organize little tests and quizzes for each other, and this can make the process much more fun than working on your own. Just before the exam, it helps to write short notes about the most important study points on pieces of paper and look at them just before you go to bed. On the day of the exam, don't do any studying. Eat a proper breakfast and take some emergency snacks with you. Wear comfortable clothes and take your favorite pen and pencil with you. And don't forget your watch. After reading this paragraph, I have 3 questions for you. Question 1. Does it contain a thesis statement? Yes, the first sentence. As the day of the exam approaches, there are several things you can do to make life easier. Suggests that you are going to share with the readers the following instructions, which are so important that they might make your life easier. Question 2. How can you tell that the paragraph follows a time sequence? You must have noticed that these signal words, as the day of the exam approaches, firstly, just before the exam, just before you go to bed, on the day of the exam, all these words and phrases indicate that the paragraph proceeds in a chronological order. The last question for this paragraph. Does the author call the reader's special attention to some critical points? Yes, definitely. At the very beginning, the author encourages the reader to take regular exercise so as not to feel tired at night and maintain a healthy mental state in the daytime. All right, let's summarize what we have learned today and analyze a sample paragraph to see whether you understand the main points of this lesson. A process analysis explains in step-by-step fashion how something works or how something is done or made. Process analysis provides people with practical information. Whatever its purpose, the information in the process analysis must be accurate, clear, and easy to follow. Your main aim in process analysis is to inform readers. Therefore, as you develop your essay, keep the following questions in mind. First one, what information does my audience need or want? That is a thesis statement. The second one, how much detail does my audience need or want? That is a process analysis organized in chronological order. The third one, what trouble spots require special attention and explanation. Okay, that's all for this lesson. See you next time.